Welcome to the Natural Health Show with one of New England's leading holistic specialists, Mark Mincolla. Call Mark at 617-822-1969 on 96.9 Boston Talks.
Greetings and welcome home, Natural Health Nation. I'm Mark Mincolla. Great to be with you here on this wintry mix of a Sunday. I guess winter still has a little bit of punch, lest we forget. March coming up soon, but still plenty of winter in those skies out there. Anyway, great to be with you in Boston and New England. 617-822-1969, Verizon Wireless, pound 96.9. We're here to answer, of course, your questions regarding various natural health issues, vitamins, minerals, dieting, etc. But we like to introduce topics. We're going to do that again this evening as well. Fibromyalgia is a disorder characterized by musculoskeletal pain accompanied by fatigue, sleep problems, memory, mood issues. Very, very serious issue, of course. So many folks suffering. According to the National Foundation of Fibromyalgia, 12 million Americans presently suffer from fibromyalgia, and predominantly women ages 20 to 55. In fact, 8 times more women than men suffer from fibromyalgia. So incredible numbers. But the pain, of course, is often described as dull, achy pain, typically arising from muscles, and fibromyalgia is characterized by pressure points or pain points as well. There are 18 total trigger points or tender points that have been identified with fibromyalgia, 9 primary and 9 secondary points. But we're talking ultimately, too, about issues that correlate fatigue, anxiety, depression, endometriosis, headache, irritable bowel syndrome. Very, very serious issue. Of course, so many folks out there are familiar with fibromyalgia. Either you know someone or, unfortunately, in many cases, have it in fact yourself. Hopefully not. But a very serious inflammatory condition, a serious pain condition that really is, by all accounts, traceable to very serious stress chemistry problems. Whenever folks experience traumas, any kind of serious periods of acute stress, fibromyalgia is often the afterblast. And people with fibromyalgia have a lower threshold for pain because of the increased sensitivity in the brain to pain signals caused by that trauma or long-term or acute stress. Researchers, of course, are tapping into a lot more information as time goes on, but they're finding also receptors in the brain tend to get kind of stuck like a broken record, that the pain is so consistent and so constant that the pain signaling is just overloading those receptors in the brain, and the brain just continues to hold on to those pain signals and has a hard time getting unstuck from them. But again, folks have been curious. I know so many folks that I meet with in my work, curious about what could be done to spell them of this pain and discomfort that is fibromyalgia. These deep tissue inflammatory problems, these musculoskeletal pains that, again, accompany with fatigue, sleep, memory, mood issues, etc. Very serious issue, and so many folks looking for answers. We certainly have a number of answers regarding the natural approach to helping you with fibromyalgia this evening. We're going to talk about several supplements that have been studied for the support of fibromyalgia, and a lot of folks, of course, are familiar with fish oils and some of the more obvious ones. We're going to go into kind of more secondary supplements, those that are maybe not quite as mainstream. We're also going to talk about some of the interesting corollaries between the adrenal glands, your stress glands, and the problem that we refer to as fibromyalgia, a very, very mysterious and very prevalent, widespread disorder that is growing, unfortunately, by numbers. And when we come back from these messages, we're going to talk with you again at 617-822-1969, and Verizon Wireless users, pound 96.9. You're listening to The Natural Health Show. My name is Mark Mincolla. Be right back after these messages.
Questioning authority is a Boston tradition, and the tradition lives on right here.
Any questions?
96.9 Boston Talks.
There are many things we can't control in life. One thing we can control is how we choose to take care of ourselves. Hi, this is Mark Mincolla. The key to making your health a priority is becoming educated on how your body works and how to make it work for you. Join me as I lead a series of monthly webinars to educate individuals on nutrition and optimal health. During these webinars, you'll learn about healing your thyroid, immune support, nutrition strategies, preventive disease, and so much more. For just $99, you can participate in my webinar series right from your home or office. Log on to www.myhealthylivingmag.com or register at 781-834-2728. That's 781-834-2728. Learn to maximize your wellness and change your life.
Hi, this is Catherine from Jarrow Formulas. We can be found on the web at jarrow.com, JARROW.com. Jarrow is the leading manufacturer of dietary supplements. We offer over 300 vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and probiotics. At Jarrow, our mission is to provide superior nutrition and formulation. We team with industry leaders and top academic researchers to bring you quality you can depend on. This is exactly why we have partnered with Mark Mincolla. Mark brings cutting-edge science and education to his listeners and clients, and we are proud to be part of his team. We look forward to bringing you more information about specific products over the year with Mark and exciting topics. You can buy Jarrow formulas at a health food store near you. Find out more about Jarrow at jarrow.com. That's JARROW.com.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. Now is the time we need to think about getting fit and preparing for spring. If you've overindulged or just want to tone up, there are safe, natural pills, powders, and juices to help boost your metabolism, curb appetite, and block fat absorption. Some of our favorites include Life Extension's Optimized Herbingia with green tea, seaweed, and white kidney bean. Oprah and Dr. Oz are even talking about this one. It's a breakthrough African mango formulation that has been proven effective for weight loss. Check out our acai diet and cleanse with exotic fruits like goji, mangosteen, and noni. Pure, energizing products that cleanse and detoxify to help you lose those inches and pounds quickly. No artificial stimulants, just clean, potent ingredients. At Good Health in Quincy and Hanover, you'll find nutritional cleansing products for yeast, heavy metals, or parasites, liver, colon, and whole body cleansing kits. Safe, proven, organic solutions to help you feel more confident today. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Are you a woman experiencing hair loss? Did you know that you are not alone? Over 40 million women suffer from some form of hair loss in the United States. There is no reason to feel ashamed or alone. At PK Walsh Hair Solutions for Women, we can help. My name is Nikki Walsh, owner of PK Walsh, and I too suffer from hair loss. Together with our team of experts, we have helped thousands of women look and feel good again through state-of-the-art preventative care, laser light hair rejuvenation, strand-to-strand hair augmentation, hair extensions, hair integration, hair additions, and full wigs. If you are one of the millions of women suffering from hair loss, PK Walsh Hair Solutions for Women can help. Call PK Walsh of Needham at 781-444-4414. That number again is 781-444-4414. You can also visit us on the web at www.pkwalsh.com.
For the guys who even just thought about a hair restoration in the past, consider one again, because there's now a new and better hair restoration procedure, and it's only available from one doctor. Dr. Mark DiStefano uses a unique technology to perform his individual graft technique, or IGT. This technique requires no scalpel, no stitches, and is less invasive than other hair restorations. Dr. DiStefano has performed over 5,000 procedures, and doctors fly in from around the world to learn his IGT technique. For the hair restoration with no scalpel, no stitches, no downtime, and no visible scarring, call DiStefano Hair Restoration for one of the few free consultations available at 1-800-340-HAIR. That's 1-800-340-HAIR for a free IGT consultation. Call 1-800-340-HAIR or visit hairman.com.
Now back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
In Boston and New England, 617-822-1969, Verizon Wireless, pound 96.9. We're here for your questions, as we say each and every Sunday. We got the answers, you got the questions, we can make a team. All right, we've been chatting just a little bit about fibromyalgia, and we talked about the primary and the secondary pressure points, trigger points. And I'll give you some of those primary points. The back of the head, people who have pain that is very chronic and dull in the back of the head, between the shoulder blades, top of the shoulders, and front sides of the neck, upper chest, outer elbows, upper hips, sides of the hips, and the inner knees. Those are the primary areas where we're talking about fibromyalgia causing problems with you. And, again, there's not an awful lot that folks have solutionized here in terms of finding viable solutions for fibromyalgia, but there really are some really good tips, some good natural medicines to work with fibromyalgia, some very helpful nutrition tips as well. We always talk about nutrition from the perspective of inflammation and anti-inflammation, so that really comes into play. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a bit, so let's right now, without any further ado, get to your calls. We got Janet from Salem. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show and the Natural Health Show.
Doctors, do you have any idea on hallucinations connected with Parkinson's disease, how to dispel them?
Well, that's actually a very good question, and there are some studies that are taking place right now. I know that there have been some studies at the University of Chicago Medical School in that area, and, there's obviously vectors of the brain that are given to hallucination that have been disturbed here. So, I don't, at this point in time, know of anything regarding natural medicine that could be supportive. I do know that, you're talking about the cerebellum reflex, the atlas and towers area of the brain and the body, and, you want to make sure that whoever the patient is we're talking about here is being thoroughly looked at, and not just from the traditional medical perspective, but vitamin B12 should be evaluated as well because of the methyl B12 importance with the nervous system. So things like vitamin B12, and if the need for supplementation arises because there are deficiencies found in testing, make sure it's a methyl, methyl B12, methyl B12. But no, I think that the jury's still out. We still need to see some further research on the topic. But number one, just make sure that there's a thorough medical exam here, and that you're looking at it from not just the medical but the nutritional perspective as well.
Well, what would you suggest as far as nutrition?
Well, again, I think that you want to be careful if you think in terms of a lot of the animal proteins, a lot of the inflammatory animal proteins that we talk about often here, the red meats, the egg yolks, the dairy products. I think you want to make sure that you cut down on those, if not eliminate them altogether. You want to make sure that, again, the methyl B12 is properly taken care of here as well. And you also want to make sure that there's B-complex, a good high B-complex vitamin being administered as well, in my opinion. But nutritionally, you also want to be careful about processed sugars, white flours, and fermented foods. I think that, the diet, when it comes to any of these degenerative or inflammatory conditions, wants to be low in what's called prostaglandin 2 foods, or foods that have high arachidonic acid. Very inflammatory foods. So therefore, you want to make sure that lean, baked, broiled, or boiled poultry, fish, a lot of vegetables, fruits, whole grain products. That's pretty much it.
Now, is this methyl B12 a liquid or a vitamin, a pill?
Yeah, you can get methyl B12 pretty easily in a pill. One of our sponsors, Jarrow Formulas, makes a terrific 5,000 mcg formula that's really pretty good. And it's 5,000 micrograms of methyl B12, and that's by Jarrow, Jarrow Formulas.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Again, our telephone number is 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, pound 96.9. And, we're talking here about fibromyalgia this evening, and, the idea that we have 12 million Americans presently suffering. Astounding that the ratio is 8-to-1 female to male in terms of those suffering from the condition. And a lot of folks, of course, ask the question, why so many women? Why is the ratio so imbalanced as far as the condition goes? And I think the answer to that is that I think hormones are playing a significant role. When you talk about much of the present research, present understanding about fibromyalgia, you're talking really, for all intents and purposes, about a condition that is directly correlated with the adrenal function. And once again, as we said a little while ago, that current thinking sort of centers around the theory that is called central sensitization. That theory basically states that people with fibromyalgia have a lower threshold for pain because of increased sensitivity in the brain to pain signals caused by trauma and long-term stress as well. And many researchers believe that repeated nerve stimulation such as stress causes the brain of people with fibromyalgia to change. And the change involves abnormal increases in levels of various neurotransmitters in the brain that keep that pain signal steady, unfortunately. So, it's a very serious issue for those who suffer from it, and there are solutions. We're going to get to those in a moment or two here. We've got Mark on the line from Boston. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk. You're on the Natural Health Show. That is not a great connection right there, unfortunately. But if you want to try calling back,
I'm on here. Sorry.
Hello. Are you there with us?
Yeah.
Terrific.
My wife has fibromyalgia. She has the symptoms in her hip and behind in her back area. She drinks a lot of tea and eats a lot of dairy with that. And I'm wondering, is that not a good call?
John, I think, or Mark rather, I think we need to probably ask you to try to call back when you get into a better cell area. That was a pretty rough call, but I think I got some of that. I heard that your wife has been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and she, I think you said, drinks a lot of tea. I'm not sure about the second part of the equation, but the key really here is that there are solutions. We're going to start hitting on some of those right now, but from the dietary perspective, I think it's, again, very important to avoid groups of foods that are inflammatory, prostaglandin 2 foods. There are many foods that produce various fatty acids, and every fatty acid that you produce in your body from food, or that you, I should say, ingest from food, really becomes a primary natural raw resource for the production of hormones. And there are 3 different assembly lines of hormones in the body that are either neutral, inflammatory, or anti-inflammatory. And foods such as red meat, egg yolks, dairy products, nuts, for the most part, a lot of sugar, starchy, insulin trigger foods as well, produce a prostaglandin 2 or an inflammatory effect in the body. And therefore, you want to be really careful about consuming too many of these inflammatory foods. So again, like we just mentioned a little while ago here to the earlier caller, lean, baked, broiled, or boiled poultry, fish, certainly beans, tofu, things of that nature, organic fruits and vegetables. Stick mostly with oats and rice for grains. Try to keep the gluten levels down. There are a number of different breads that I do recommend, like at Good Health Natural Foods. They have the Delands, Delands, oat bread, and the Food for Life yeast-free rice bread. Also, I often recommend, in place of peanut butter, which is a staple for so many folks, the green label I Am Healthy brand soy nut butter, which is basically a peanut butter knockoff, if you will, but it's anti-inflammatory. That's the key because of the alpha-linolenic acid. Again, you want to think about fats that are either going to anti-inflame or inflame, and that's pretty much the way it plays out. So dietarily, you might want to tell your wife to kind of follow programs such as that. And back to the idea of tea, I did hear you say, I believe, that she's drinking tea. One of the most important recommendations I can make to a fibromyalgia patient is to give a try to get some ginger tea. And the company that I prefer is the Traditional Medicinals. Great company. Traditional Medicinals makes a terrific ginger tea, which is very anti-inflammatory. The 2 herbs that I really think are invaluable for this condition of fibromyalgia. Number 1 would be ginger, and number 2 would actually be rosemary. Nature's Way, the Nature's Way Herb Company, makes a rosemary leaf capsule, 400 milligram. I recommend 2 of those caps twice a day, and then at least 2 or 3 cups of the Traditional Medicinals ginger tea. And I think there's a tremendous amount of anti-inflammatory support you're getting there from those two products. The USDA back in 2006 actually studied the antioxidant factors of foods, herbs, etc. And the foods that were actually the highest anti-inflammatory foods, the highest of all were actually red kidney beans and wild blueberries. And the ORAC factor that they produced, the anti-inflammatory factor that they produced, was about 1/30th of what a quarter teaspoon of either ginger or rosemary produce. So again, spices are powerful, folks. Very, very powerful anti-inflammatory agents. All right, we're going to take a short little breather. And again, our number is 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users pound 969. And you're listening to The Natural Health Show. My name is Mark Mincolla. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned.
Do you expect me to talk?
Michael, you're doing a great job.
Thanks. Michael Graham.
Oh, you're going to live this one, Michael.
Okay. Weekdays from 10 to 2.
The guys that I work with, we all listen to your show. At the end of the day, we always end up talking about your show.
96.9. Boston Talks.
It seems as though the whole world is rapidly changing. We're all becoming more passionate about natural health, personal growth, and living life at a higher level. Hi, this is Mark Mincolla. I invite you to all join me Monday, April 11th from 7 to 9 at Hope Floats in Kingston, Mass. for a very special inspirational presentation entitled Living Truly Healthy, Whole, and Healed. During this presentation, I will share some of my most inspiring life lessons learned through 30 years of natural health and healing work. In addition to our theme of healing inspiration, I'll also share the latest information regarding the very best natural ways to get and stay holistically healthy. I assure you, you won't want to miss this truly remarkable evening of inspiration, health, and healing. It's time for us all to begin our personal transformations together. Again, that's April 11th, Monday from 7 to 9 at Hope Floats in Kingston with me, Mark Mincolla. To register, call 781-834-2728. That's 781-834-2728 or online at myhealthylivingmag.com.
You know, when most people hear the word allergies, they think only of hay fever-like symptoms associated with airborne pollen, dust, and mold. But did you know that many experts estimate that between 60 and 80 million of us suffer from immune-related food allergies without even knowing it? Furthermore, food allergies often contribute to serious health problems such as autism, irritable bowel syndrome, ADD, headaches, and chronic ear infections. Now, there's an effective way to identify and eliminate both your food allergies and the troubling symptoms that they aggravate. Allotest Medical Labs at foodallergy.com offers a full complement of clinical, environmental, and food allergy testing to help you get to the root of your allergy problems. Allotest also provides you with a comprehensive rotation diet, lifestyle booklet, and a wallet card to help you live food allergy-free and stress-free. Do you wonder if you or your loved ones are among the 60 to 80 million food allergy sufferers in America? If so, log on to Allotest Medical Labs, foodallergy.com. Talk to your doctor about ordering a food allergy test from Allotest Medical Labs today. Foodallergy.com. Make sure the food you're eating isn't what's depleting you.
Do you own or manage a natural health, fitness, day spa, or go green business? Perhaps you have a unique restaurant that offers healthy entrees, heart-smart seafood, vegetarian or lighter fare options. I invite you to share your vision and deliver your message directly to health-conscious New Englanders by becoming a sponsor of the Natural Health Show, New England's #1 health radio show. The Natural Health Show is now welcoming potential sponsors to join our natural health family by offering a number of creative and flexible sponsorship packages. For information on how to become a sponsor of the Natural Health Show, simply call Candida at 781-834-2728. That's 781-834-2728. Be a part of New England's natural health revolution. Join our Natural Health Show family today.
Hey, I'm Mel Robbins. I renovated my home and my lawn got totally demoed in the process. I needed help to get green grass back. My girlfriends raved about this local company, Lawn Dog, so I met with Jim, the owner, and I'm using them. They're environmentally responsible, their rates are very reasonable, and check this out, unconditional satisfaction guarantee. You can count on Lawn Dog for amazing customer service. They'll call ahead, clear the lawn of furniture and toys, and they'll even leave written recommendations. Hey, with all this snow and salt, your lawn is going to need some extra help this spring. Call Lawn Dog if you want a safe, effective, and affordable way to grow lush, green, gorgeous grass without spending hours doing back-breaking work. Call now for a free, no-obligation estimate, and if you tell them Mel sent you, you'll also get a free soil pH test. Say hello to Lawn Dog. Say goodbye to grubs, weeds, dandelions, and brown spots. Call Lawn Dog now at 888-993-DAWG or 888-993-DOG or visit lawndog.com. That's LAWN dog, DAWG.com.
Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
In Boston and New England, 617-822-1969, Verizon Wireless, pound 96.9. We've got panel on the phone from Sutton. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You are on the Natural Health Show.
Hey, good afternoon.
How are you?
I wanted to talk about rheumatoid arthritis,
sure.
if I could, and the benefits, if any, from yogurt and small berries like raspberries, blueberries, blackberries.
Well, I think, first of all, you're talking about two different foods altogether here, and I think there's a split right down the middle in terms of rheumatoid arthritis. By that I mean that the dairy products fall into that category of PGE2 foods that I talked about. And I know most folks are used to thinking of yogurt as a very positive, wonderful food because of the cultures, and for many folks, that is indeed the case. If, however, you have a history of being diagnosed with a rheumatoid factor and an inflammatory condition that is chronic, you want to avoid dairy products because they do produce arachidonic acid, which means they are going to produce inflammatory prostaglandins in your body. So I'd avoid the yogurt. Number two, the berries are loaded with polyphenols, of course, ellagic acid among them, and those are very powerful anti-inflammatory agents that are very, very helpful. And I might add to have your berries in the morning with a little bit of cinnamon because, as we pointed out before the break, spice plus berries is magical when it comes to natural anti-inflammatory properties.
Wow, that's great. Great, thanks.
My pleasure. Thanks for calling. Okay, let's see. We've got Grace from Concord. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You are on the Natural Health Show.
Hi. I was wondering if the product Culturel and also Align is good for irritable bowel syndrome. And also, you said it could be stress-related. So I was wondering if that SAMe is also good to take.
Yeah, in fact, SAMe is a very good anti-inflammatory for which there have been a number of studies that have proven relatively helpful. I think that as far as the cultures that you were talking about, I think you want to be careful about where the cultures come from and the delivery medium. In other words, if a culture is, again, in a dairy product and you're looking to support an anti-inflammatory bowel condition or whatnot, I would suggest that you take your culture separately from the dairy. That is, in supplement form, you can go into the health food store and Good Health Natural Foods and whatever your neighborhood health food store has available there. You're going to find companies like Jarrow Formulas, for example, that has an EPS, Extended Probiotic System, that is still one of my favorites. The EPS system is really terrific. That's a great way to get a good floral delivery and absolutely helpful, no question. Again, they've done their homework. They've done their due diligence on showing that the studies indicate that these are very, very helpful at supporting us in the fight against bacteria. Now, here's an interesting thing, too. Chronic viruses are more prevalent than people are aware of. There's an awful lot of viruses causing an awful lot of problems out there that we rarely talk about. But there have been studies that indicate that probiotics are not just helpful for your immune system at fighting off bad bacteria. They're also helpful at supporting you in the fight against viruses as well. So probiotics are great antibacterial, I should say probiotics are good at helping your immune system to fight negative bacteria, virus, supporting immunity, and neutralizing some of these inflammatory properties we've been talking about. So a good probiotic's worth its weight in gold.
Well, is the Culturel or Align, as well as the Jarrow product, this is a brand name, Culturel and Align.
Yeah. I think that, the thing that you want to look for here is two different things. Number one, you want to look for cultures that are plural. In other words, you don't want just a singular culture. You want a number of different cultures in there. And anything that has 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different cultures, all the better. Also, it's really important to change your cultures from time to time. You should use a product for, let's say, a month, and you go on and try another one for a month. So rotating these might not be a bad idea altogether, but they're all pretty good products. I just think that Jarrow is a little bit better developed product than either of the other two products you just mentioned. And again, you might be well served to rotate them at any rate because, again, you need to rotate those cultures.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. All right, again, in Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, pound 96.9. We've got Diane on the phone from New Hampshire. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk here on the Natural Health Show. Diane, hello.
Oh, hi. B12. Is there anything that we could take to enhance the absorption of B12?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, because B12 really relies upon a healthy immune tract, it sort of ties into what we just heard about a few minutes ago, the idea that probiotics really do help us keep that floral tract stable. So I think, when your B12s do rely upon a strong, healthy villi and a minimum concentration of negative bacterial interference, that probiotics and B12 go together quite nicely. I think it's a great idea to make sure you're taking a good extended probiotic system along with your methyl B12. Remember we said earlier that the methyl form of B12 is the only one that really affects the nervous system.
Okay.
All right?
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. And let's see, we've got Richard on the line from Newton. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You're on the Natural Health Show.
Yeah, hi. I'm a liver cancer survivor of over 4 years.
Wonderful.
And my naturopath, she wants me to get involved with green-lipped muscle oil.
Mm-hmm.
And so she wants me to take this one brand. I don't know if I should mention on the phone.
It's fine. Go ahead. You can do that.
It's called Moxor, Moxxor.
Oh, yes.
And it's like a whole pyramid scheme. And then I've been looking on the web, and there's a lot of mixed. There's a few different ones. I've been to New Zealand, and so I went to New Zealand sites, and I found out there's competing products. And so it's kind of confusing because there's no scientific data. It's all from the company, or if it looks scientific, then you go back further into the website,
right?
And it's not coming from a neutral place.
Right. Well, Richard, here's something that I'd like to kind of float out there, that a lot of folks have been moving away from fish oils and into muscle oils and krill oil. I think a lot of folks are starting to get the krill oil bug these days. And, various forms of crustaceans out there, of course, linked to marine food chains and whatnot. And I think the key really here is that they do have omega-3s. There's no question about it. But to date, there are only 3 published human studies with krill, and I don't think that there are more than 2 or 3 with mussel as well. But whereas, fish oil, it's been manufactured according to international quality standards at this point in time. It's also, fish oils have a proven record of efficacy and safety and purity and sustainability. And, at this point in time, you're talking about 3,000 or 4,000 published studies for fish oils. So, if you get a product, over-the-counter product like Nordic Naturals is about as clean a fish oil and about as terrific a formulation as you're ever going to ask for out there. So, I still think that you're always safe and probably better off if you want to basically look for a good scientific backing. You can't beat omega-3 fish oils. So, I'd tell you to go with the Nordic Naturals omega-3 fish oils.
So personally, you don't have any experience with green-lipped muscle oil?
No, but my bigger point is that, there's some folks out there that claim empirically or subjectively that it's wonderful stuff, and then they run away with these, pyramid situations, and look, if it's helpful from person to person, I salute that, I celebrate that. But I'm saying, back to your discriminating nature, which I can appreciate. You're looking for viable studies. You're looking for something, some leverage here to make a good decision off of. And I think that when you're talking about 3,000 or 4,000 studies regarding fish oils and the efficacy of fish oils, and only about 2 or 3 human studies with krill oil and mussel oils, you've got a little more to go by.
Right. The fact that I have, a liver that has challenges, okay, and the fact that it's shellfish also doesn't ring well with me.
Right. Yep. No, I understand that.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. I think to a point it does. But again, you're isolating these oils, and I think the key really here is by the time you've extracted these oils from whatever the source and ended up with an omega-3, you're still dealing with an anti-inflammatory, which is always good because, again, back to the idea of inflammation, we always beat the inflammation drum here on the Natural Health Show because 72% of all diseases are associated with inflammatory chemistry. So, cancer is certainly certainly one of those things. And again, the idea that he or she is trying to put you on an omega-3 is a very good idea. I just would go along with the fish oils, and again, to get a great company with a terrific reputation like the Nordic Naturals.
Well, I've been using fish oil for a long time, and so she wants, to jump it up more. And she says that the muscle oil, the green lip muscle oil, in particular, has so much more power. It's powerful, but also, like, if I take fish oil like more than like 6 a day, it's too much.
Well, I got news for you. If you really want to do yourself a great service here and step it up, I would tell you to diversify it. In other words, there are many different channels and sources of extending anti-inflammatory chemistry in your system. We talked about some of them earlier. So, to do a small dosage of fish oil, and then on top of that, to be doing ginger, to be doing something along the lines of rosemary, like we talked about. The company we talked of was a terrific company, the Nature's Way. Rosemary leaves; those are 400 milligram caps. You take 4 of those a day. There's products like Zyflamend, which is the New Chapter product. It's an amazing anti-inflammatory product. There's some great things out there, but what I would recommend is that you diversify and open up more channels as opposed to just getting a bigger and better formula for omega-3s.
Great.
That's my recommendation.
Okay, yes. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Good luck. All right, let's see here. We've got Joe from Framingham. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show and the Natural Health Show. Hi.
Thanks. My daughter is 17 and she has debilitating menstrual cramps, like to the point where she can't get out of bed. The doctor wanted to put her on birth control, and I said no. Is there some natural remedy that I could use instead?
Yeah, there is. You heard me mention Zyflamend a moment ago. The company is called New Chapter, NEWCHAPTER, as in book. New Chapter, Zyflamend, Zyflamend. I'd recommend that she takes about 4 of those a day, along with one other thing. There's something called Ache Action, ACHE, like ache. Ache Action is made by NOW, the Now brand. It's an orange label. You'll see it in all the health food stores in the area. 500 milligrams, I would put her on 2 of those a day as well. So 4 of the Zyflamend and 2 of the Ache Action by NOW.
2 of the, okay, could you spell the Zyflamend again? I'm sorry.
Zyflamend, Zyflamend.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
2 great products. You're very welcome. Good luck.
All right, have a good day.
You too, thanks. All right, and let's see, we're right up against a little break time here. In Boston and New England, 617-822-1969, Verizon Wireless, pound 96.9. We'll be right back with your calls.
So, what's new for insiders?
Enter to win a $100 gift card courtesy of Winter Restaurant Week Boston, presented by Greater Boston Convention and Visitors Bureau and American Express, March 6th through the 18th, excluding Saturday. Go to bostonusa.com for details and participating restaurants. Get in on dining out.
Plug in, boot up, log on, online, on demand, 96.9, BostonTalks.com.
Do you suffer from allergies or know someone who does? Would you like to finally enjoy life, allergy symptom-free? Mass Allergy Relief Center in Lexington has the solution, using holistic technology that corrects the negative reactions caused by allergies and sensitivities. At Mass Allergy Relief Center, their therapies are non-invasive. No needles, no drugs, no supplements. Just relief. Finally, with the help of Mass Allergy Relief Center, you can relieve chronic sinusitis, hay fever, food sensitivities, digestive issues, and other chronic complaints. Call Mass Allergy Relief Center today at 781-274-7700. That's 781-274-7700. Visit them online at massallergyrelief.com. Call Mass Allergy Relief Center today and get allergy symptom relief right away. massallergyrelief.com.
Are you a woman experiencing hair loss? Did you know that you are not alone? Over 40 million women suffer from some form of hair loss in the United States. There is no reason to feel ashamed or alone. At PK Walsh Hair Solutions for Women, we can help. My name is Nikki Walsh, owner of PK Walsh, and I too suffer from hair loss. Together with our team of experts, we have helped thousands of women look and feel good again through state-of-the-art preventative care, laser light hair rejuvenation, strand-to-strand hair augmentation, hair extensions, hair integration, hair additions, and full wigs. If you are one of the millions of women suffering from hair loss, PK Walsh Hair Solutions for Women can help. Call PK Walsh of Needham at 781-444-4414. That number again is 781-444-4414. You can also visit us on the web at www.pkwalsh.com.
For more than 18 years, Personal Best Karate has been teaching character education, physical fitness, and self-defense skills to people of all ages. Led by 3-time world karate champion Chris Rappold and his highly trained and motivated staff, you are sure to find a one-of-a-kind program that is just right for you and your family. Learn firsthand how Personal Best Karate can transform your life by giving their new amazing introductory offer a try. Now, for only $19.95, you'll receive 2 private lessons and an official Personal Best Karate uniform. You'll immediately see just how easy it is to improve your self-confidence, your mental focus, and your health and fitness. The helpful staff at Personal Best Karate will arrange a convenient schedule and design an affordable program to help you achieve your personal best goals. That's Personal Best Karate with locations in Norton, Foxborough, Southeastern, and Norwood. Check them out on the World Wide Web at personalbestkarate.com or call their home office at 508-285-5425. Mention that you heard this ad on the Natural Health Show and receive a free special gift while supplies last. Manifest your personal best at Personal Best Karate.
Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, pound at 96.9. Before we get back to your calls and my recommendations for fibromyalgia, we've got a friend on board here. Kathy Jordan is a registered dietitian, author, fitness trainer, eating behavior coach. Her book, Below the Surface, Weight Loss Transformation by KG, distills over 2 decades of experience teaching fitness and weight loss strategies. Hey, Kathy, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
Great to have you on board.
Thank you.
And talk to us a little bit about the book.
Oh, yes, the book is new, and it's really based on about almost 30 years of experience that I have with working with clients and helping them learn to manage their weight. And that means losing it and keeping it off. And keeping it off is the key here, because a diet program or any kind of weight loss program is never really successful unless a person can keep it off.
Right.
So in Below the Surface Weight Loss Transformation by KJ, I address the underlying issues, attitudes, and habits that people tend to have that get in the way of success, and help them find ways to get past that so they can achieve success and maintain that success over a lifetime.
And you mentioned really important key points here for folks who are interested in really honestly losing weight healthfully and sustaining that weight loss and to be really truly successful at being fit and keeping that weight off. You talk about readiness, you talk about openness to change. Talk about some of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. Number one, you don't want to embark upon a weight loss program if you're not prepared. And what I mean by that is you have to be prepared mentally. So you have to assess your state of mind. What is going on in your life at the moment? Do you have any emotional issues that perhaps make it so that you wouldn't be able to prioritize it? Because it is a commitment. You have to invest the time and energy into the weight loss program. And by that I mean some things as simple as making the time to go to the grocery store, to have the foods in your house, making the time to bring your lunch or plan for a lunch if you work outside of the home, that kind of thing. Making time to exercise. And, so in other words, shifting your priorities if you determine, well, geez, I may have to shift my priorities, so can you do that? So that's really, assessing the readiness. And then also looking at if there are any obstacles that are going to present themselves, so you know up front what you're dealing with. And then I think, the next step for me when I'm working with a client is to have them really think about what they want. So to start to visualize themselves at their goal weight. And I know that can be tricky if you have a lot of weight to lose, so you can break that down. So if you have, if you're looking at losing 80, 100 pounds or more, you may want to break that into smaller steps. But for those of us out there that, are struggling with 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds, I think you can really focus on the end goal and start to create your vision of how you want to be. How do you want to lead your life? My philosophy is to live in the moment, okay? Mm-hmm. But to live in that moment so that you can achieve the future that you want. And so you have to be really clear about what you want. And I think that's step number one. Number two, you have to know why you want it.
Absolutely.
And number three, you have to look at what's going to get in the way ahead of time if you know.
Right.
And start to address that right away so you're totally prepared. And I think, when I said I wanted to talk about at least the top 3 things, the third one is your mindset. Mindset is critical in weight loss. So attitudes and mindset are paramount. If to success, so you have to have the right one. And most people that are successful in managing their weight have sort of a can-do attitude. They know that it's a challenge. They know that it's going to be work. They know they're going to have to invest time and effort. They know they're going to make mistakes. They accept all of that, and they prepare themselves for that. And so when something is a challenge, or if they have a situation where perhaps they feel like they could have done that differently, rather than getting all upset about it and backtracking, they recognize it, they learn from it, and they move on.
And what about the the folks out there that are going through periods of acute stress, a lot of emotions being triggered, and food becomes a friend, food becomes comfort, food becomes kind of an easy access way to kind of feel better, and then they. Folks sometimes are then found behind the eight ball to try to offset that with fad diet programs. The extreme swings back into the yo-yo program. What do you say about that?
Yeah, and those usually don't work. And if people are having issues with stress, and they're finding that they're using food as their primary coping mechanism, and I have a lot of clients like that when they first come on board with me, either as an individual coaching client or in a group program. Basically what we do is we find together, we explore, brainstorm, whatever, other things that help people cope. So they don't always reach for food. And I'm not saying that food can never play a role there, because food provides pleasure, but it can't be your sole coping mechanism, because it's going to backfire. And this is what I find, and I talk about this a lot in my book. People say they want one thing. They have this vision of how they want to be. They want to weigh a certain amount. They want to feel a certain way. They want to have a certain amount of energy. They want to have a healthy diet or whatever. But when they have some stress, perhaps, and they start eating, then they're not living in concert with their vision. So what that does is set up even more stress. So the food which you think is going to make you feel better actually does not. It makes you feel worse. But you need to be able to look at your behavior pattern and stop yourself right in the middle of it as soon as you can, so that you don't have to deal with the consequences of that behavior.
Great advice. She is Kathy Jordan, a registered dietitian, author, fitness trainer, eating behavior coach. Her book, Below the Surface, Weight Loss Transformation by KJ. It distills over 2 decades of experience teaching fitness weight loss strategies. And are there recipes in there? Are there ways that folks can kind of get started and get this, get some traction and get this program off the ground?
Oh, yes, absolutely. First of all, the book is just full of a bunch of tools that you can use. There's the readiness assessment. There's the vision worksheet. There's your eating behavior journal, which I think is paramount to weight loss. And there's tons of research. In fact, a couple years ago, the American Dietetic Association cited some of that research that shows that people who keep a food journal, I call mine the eating behavior journal, the people that keep those are more successful. And I will tell you from my 30 years of experience, the people who do that religiously and use it not only to record their behavior, but to assess their behavior and to plan from that, those are the ones that are going to be successful. And I still use one today. So whenever one of the things I wanted to talk about was if you've lost weight, keeping it off. And one of those things is self-monitoring. And one of the ways I do that is I keep track of my weight, because I am a historian myself. I also lost weight, and I've kept it off for 25, 30 years now. So I went through this process myself. And so I self-monitor. And one of the ways I self-monitor is I keep an eating behavior journal as needed. I also have a checklist, which is in the book. And it's not a diet, but it helps guide you to make sure you get the nutrients you need every day by focusing on making sure you get a certain amount of each type of food per day, whether it's fruits and vegetables, protein, whole grains, that kind of, healthy fats, that kind of thing. So that's in Chapter 7 in the book that deals with nutrition, and that's a really handy tool. I use that. I have a laminated copy of it that I keep on my refrigerator, and I find that extremely helpful, because if it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm working at home that day and I have the hungry horrors, I look at that checklist, that I've checked off all day, and I see, hey, man, I've only had 2 servings of fruits and vegetables today, rather than reaching for a half a bagel or something, I better get some fruits and vegetables in if I want to stay healthy.
Sure, it brings your consciousness right into the picture.
Absolutely. So both of those tools really keep you on top of what you're doing.
That's great.
And you can't make changes if you're not keeping track, because you don't know. So I think that's really,
great information. Great information. Kathy Jordan, why don't you share your website and any kind of telephone contact information you wish?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. The website is www.bodybykj.com, and I think you can fill out a website contact form on that website under the contact tab, and then also you can reach me by emailing me at kj@bodybykj.com. And I have a number of things I'd like to share with readers, just 4 resources. Number one, the book is now available at Barbara's Booksellers at South Station, in Annie's Bookshop in Sharon, as well as a number of the online sites like Amazon, Borders, Barnes & Noble. But I also want listeners here to know that I'm doing a number of free workshops in the area. I'm teaming up with some local curves. So there's more information if you check out the Body Transformation by KJ fan page on Facebook. I have dates and times for those free workshops. So people have an hour of my time, but I'm leaving plenty of time for questions and discussion during those workshops.
Wonderful. Well, Kathy Jordan, thank you so much for joining us, and best wishes with book sales. I'm sure it's going to do great. And keep up the terrific work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're going to take a short little break, and we'll be right back with your calls.
Severin Says.
We started a discussion of this new idea of an app. I hate the word, but I know everyone uses it, so I'll use it a little.
Jay Severin, afternoons 2 to 6, 96.9, Boston Talks.
There are many things we can't control in life. One thing we can control is how we choose to take care of ourselves. Hi, this is Mark Mincolla. The key to making your health a priority is becoming educated on how your body works and how to make it work for you. Join me as I lead a series of monthly webinars to educate individuals on nutrition and optimal health. During these webinars, you'll learn about healing your thyroid, immune support, nutrition strategies, preventive disease, and so much more. For just $99, you can participate in my webinar series right from your home or office. Log on to www.myhealthylivingmag.com or register at 781-834-2728. That's 781-834-2728. Learn to maximize your wellness and change your life.
Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
All right, we've got Brittany on the line from Pepperell. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You're on the Natural Health Show.
Hi, how are you?
Terrific. How are you?
I'm calling regarding my mom. She had an adrenalectomy in 2008, and that was caused by Cushing. She had a secreting tumor.
Right.
And just recently, within the past month, they've diagnosed her with both bacterial overgrowth and fibromyalgia, and I'm wondering the connections between the three of them.
Well, remember we talked, first of all, let's simplify it. First of all, your adrenal glands, are basically your natural anti-inflammatory producing glands. So when tumors and or acute stress or trauma put them out of business, you no longer have the efficiency or the capability to effectively anti-inflame yourself anymore like you once did. So that's number one. Number two, yeasts from sugars, a lot of fermented foods, a lot of vinegars, yeasty breads, sweets, too many fungal foods like nuts and mushrooms. These things over an extended period of time, marinades, things like that, are going to drive up your yeast, your fungal levels in the blood. As you do that, of course, they produce more of an inflammatory response as well. Bacteria and viruses, don't forget, are inflammatory. So I think what she might consider doing is increasing her use of things like pau d'arco tea, which is an over-the-counter Brazilian rainforest herb tea that you can purchase in any of the local health food stores. Also, like I said, cut down on, you don't want to use nuts in the diet anymore, no more vinegars, marinades, mushrooms, and fermented foods. Yeasty breads. There are breads that have no yeast you can get at the health food store. I'd opt for those. Put lemon and oil on salads instead of vinegar. Try to cut down on the fermentation and see if you can't support her, and then give her the Pau d'Arco tea just to help that part of the equation. And I'm going to give you some information. Just a second here. I'm going to give out some information as far as supplement strategies for fibromyalgia.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for calling. All right, as promised, there's a product actually that's made. It's called Mucose, M-U-C-O-S, Wobenzyme. Mucose, M-U-C-O-S, Wobenzyme, W-O-B-E-N-Z-Y-M-E. Wobenzyme N, as in Nancy. That has pancreatin, bromelain, trypsin, chymotrypsin, great proteases to help you with inflammation. Amazing product. Also, I recommend, as I did earlier, the New Chapter Zyflamend, 4 to 6 a day. Zyflamend by New Chapter. I like the NOW brand Ache Action, A-C-H-E, Ache Action, and the Nature's Way rosemary leaf caps, 400 milligrams, again, 4 of those a day. And, keep in mind here that I think you can get a lot done anti-inflammatorily with teas. Anti-inflammation response with ginger tea, as we pointed out, I like the Traditional Medicinals brand, a wonderful, wonderful anti-inflammatory tea that you can find at the health food store counters. So you want to look for that as well. And, keep in mind that diet plays a significant role in all these issues. And as I've found over the past 30 years, that when you eat anti-inflammatorily, it really makes a tremendously significant contribution to the process of getting your body out of pain and out of inflammation. Big, big difference. It may take a little bit of time. You want to count it on 3-4 week intervals before you evaluate it. So you get off of some of the foods we talked about. Again, too many red meats, dairy products, egg yolks, nuts are going to really create a lot of inflammatory problems. Cut down or cut out on those. Give it a good 3-4 weeks. See how you feel. And again, the supplement products that we talked about tonight are very helpful also. The Mucose Wobenzyme N, great product. The New Chapter Zyflamend, the Now Ache Action, Nature's Way rosemary, and that's about it. All right. And while this goes by awfully fast each and every Sunday, and we want to thank you so much for listening, and each and every Sunday, of course, we're here for you, and we welcome you back in. Stay tuned, of course, for Right Turn Radio, New England's #1 addiction program with Woody and Abby. And we'd like to thank John Parker, the inimitable John Parker, for doing a great job steering the ship straight on down the middle. And thanks to Adam Ing. You want to watch these programs, you can watch them. Yes, I said watch, because we podcast them. And the website is www.maxhealing.com. And I will be doing a segment this week on Fox 25 Morning Show, 8:50 on Thursday morning. So I'll see you then as well. Until next Sunday, this is Mark Mincolla. Be wise, be aware, be well, make it a healthy week. Good night.